Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Taya's Turning Pages. So by the title of today's video, you can tell that this is going to be a big old book unboxing, and I'm so excited because this is the last book unboxing video of 2022. Finally decided to put a cap and a stop to all of the books that I have been buying this year. It's honestly gotten out of control. Pango Books has taken over my life. I did unhaul a lot of books recently, and so I feel like I'm justified in making these purchases, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. So we do have quite a few packages here, and I think some of these books are bundled up in like one package, so we will go through all of those. But I am really excited to go through all of these books with you guys because some of these books are rare finds and other ones I'm just so excited to have on my shelf because they're a special edition or I've just wanted them for so long. So with all of that talking out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with this package right here. I've never done book unboxing videos on my channel before, so this is a first, and you know, we'll see how it goes. But let's see what this book is. Okay. Right, okay, yes, I remember what this book is. Let me get this out of the bubble wrap first and I'll show you guys. The first book that I have here is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is one book that I ordered off of Pango Books, and I'm really surprised that this came in such great condition because I think when I ordered this, the seller said that it was in good condition, so there were like marks and scuffs and stuff like that on it, but it looks perfect to me, like in near mint condition. Now there is a little mark right here. You're not gonna be able to see it with my ring light, but there's a little mark right here. But other than that, this book is pristine. I was watching one of Sara Carrolli's videos and she recommended this book, and I feel like Sara Carrolli does a great job at like keeping a pulse on like what's really popular when it comes to BOOKTUB romances and things like that. And so I like to follow her channel to see what, you know, everyone's reading on that side. And this is a book that she's recommended. And so I went on Pango Books and blindly ordered this. But when I actually read the synopsis after I placed my order, which is something that I don't recommend doing, but I read the synopsis after I placed my order and I realized that this is a book that I wouldn't typically pick up. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm actually going to like this. You know that this is a small town romance and that there is a grumpy sunshine trope. That's literally all I know. I don't want to get into the full synopsis of this book because I feel like it's just one of those that's just really popular, and like if you know, you know. Definitely recommend going on Goodreads if you are interested in learning the full synopsis, but that's all I was able to gather from this. So yeah, either way, I hope I do enjoy this book whenever I do get around to it. It is very long. It's almost 600 pages. I really don't know when I'm going to get around to this, but I want to at least give it a try. I'm going to have an open mind. I also know that Lucy Score has recently come out with a new book. I think it's called By the Thread, and so if I end up liking this book, then I will pick up that book too. But for right now, I'm just going to start with Things We Never Got Over and go from there. I do love the cover of this book and the color, so that's a win at least. So now moving on to the next package that I have here. This one is a big boy, as you can tell. I am really excited about this one because I already know which one it is. Okay. The book that I have here is The Grip Trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. So story time, I actually wasn't going to pick up this book when I saw it on Pango Books because I don't know, it didn't really seem like something that I would be interested in, but I love Kennedy Ryan. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, I love Kennedy Ryan's books. I love her writing, and I just think that she does such a phenomenal job with creating compelling and authentic characters. So I really wanted to expand my Kennedy Ryan collection and go back into her archive and her catalog and read some of her older books, and I know that this is one of them. This is a trilogy, like I said. It is all in one book, so that's why it's really chunky. I did see some sellers selling each book in this trilogy individually, but I thought it was a great deal to get this book because it was all in one, and the seller was only selling this for I think around like $30, which I really appreciate because this is huge, as you can see, and it's essentially 3 books, so I think that's a great deal. I want to say it's like a celebrity or like a rock star or musician romance. I could be 100% wrong, but let's see. On the back here it says, The Grip Trilogy charts the course of rising star Marlon Grip James and his manager Bristol Gray. From the beginning, attraction ignites between the struggling musician and his best friend's ambitious sister. It starts with a kiss at the top of a Ferris wheel when they're young, combusts into a tumultuous love affair, and matures into an epic love that defies each odd and defeats every obstacle. Not your typical rock star romance. The Grip Trilogy tackles bias and injustice with the same passion it champions happily ever after. Yeah, I'm not really into like musician or rock star romances. I don't know why. I've just never really gravitated towards that subgenre of romance, but I am really excited to read this just because I love Kennedy Ryan and I want to read everything that she's ever written. And so when I saw this on Pango Books being offered for a decent price, I decided to jump at it, and I'm glad I did. Now, when will I read this? I have no idea, but I am really looking forward to it nonetheless, and I'm hoping that this will at least spark some type of appreciation or love for rock star and musician romances. And this is the next box that we're going to unbox. one. Hold on. So they actually wrapped this up in a priority mailbox, which I appreciate. I always appreciate extra packaging. Thank you very much. That's one thing that I will say that I noticed on Pango Books is that everyone has such a unique way of packaging their boxes. I usually just use regular poly mailers that I got off of Amazon. They're pink. I'll link them down below. Just in case you are looking to sell on Pango Books and you're looking for some packaging materials, I definitely recommend the ones that I got because they're great and they're actually really affordable. But anyways, the book that we have here is, ooh, a Beverly Jenkins novel. Love to see it. So I was actually going to try to show all of my Beverly Jenkins books towards the end of the video and keep them all together because I ordered a lot. This one is called Destiny's Captive, and right here on the front it says she stole his ship and his heart. So this is the cover, and you guys know I love a good Beverly Jenkins historical romance as well as the covers. You guys know this. So I definitely went crazy and ordered so many different Beverly Jenkins books. I have no idea what this one is about. The only thing that I know is that this follows a woman who is a pirate, and that's it. That's all I know. So I feel like this is going to be one of those Beverly Jenkins novels that is just going to have me gripped and entertained from the start. But on the back here it says, Noah Yates fully believes in the joys of a happy family and a good wife, but that's not the life for him. No, he would rather much sail the wild seas in search of adventure, not tied down. But then the unthinkable happens. He finds himself literally tied down to a bed by a woman. And Pillar isn't just an ordinary woman. She's descended from pirates, and after giving him one of the worst nights of his life, she steals his ship. Now Noah is on the hunt, and he'll stop at nothing to find this extraordinary woman and make her his. Ooh, this sounds like this is going to be really spicy, really steamy, and just very entertaining. So yes, cannot wait to dive into this one at some point. And I think this is a part of a series, maybe the Destiny series, I don't know. But either way, really excited to read this one at some point. This one actually has two of them in this package because this was a bundle deal that I got from Pango Books. And so the first one that I have here is Wild Rain. And then the second one that I have here is To Catch a Raven. Starting with Wild Rain, this one is one of Beverly Jenkins' newer books. It's not her newest, but it's one of her newer books. And oh, I got a little thank you card. That's cute. Anyways, I'll read that later. But this one, again, I have no idea what most of these books are about. I just saw that they were Beverly Jenkins books. I didn't have them in my collection, so I decided to order them. So on the back here, this says, banished by her grandfather at the age of 18, Spring Lee has survived scandals to claim her own little slice of paradise, Wyoming. She's proud of working her ranch alone and unwilling to share it with a stranger, especially one like Garrett McGray, who makes her second guess her resolve to avoid men. Garrett escaped slavery years ago and is now a reporter in Washington. He's traveled west to interview Dr. Colton Lee for an article, yet it's Lee's fearless sister, Spring, who captures his interest. Clad in denim and buckskins instead of dresses, she's the most fascinating woman he's ever met, and he's certain she also feels the connection that sizzles between them. But when a shadow from Spring's past returns, all is on the line. Her ranch, her safety, and this wild, fierce love. This just sounds like this is going to be a quintessential Beverly Jenkins novel, especially because someone from Spring's past comes back to haunt her. That's usually how Beverly Jenkins romances go. There's always going to be that one character that is evil and pops up from one of the main characters' lives and tries to destroy everything. So this is going to be another one of her books I'm sure I'm going to love. The second book that I have here in that package was To Catch a Raven. I think this is actually her newest release, so that's really exciting. I love the fact that she's still publishing historical romances because that's what I need in my life, okay? Her historical romances are true comfort reads for me, and I want to own all of them and read all of them. I don't know if that's going to be possible though. Some of her books are out of print and it's really hard to find them even on eBay, but we're gonna try, you know, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna have to go to different thrift stores and see what I can find too, but either way, really happy that I have this one added to my collection too. And this one right here says, lying and cheating may be sins to some people, but for Raven Moreau, it is a way of life. She comes from a long line of grifters and couldn't be prouder until she's forced to help the government. A former Confederate official is suspected of stealing the Declaration of Independence, and Raven, posing as his housekeeper, is tasked with getting it back. Her partner is the too handsome Braxton Steele. Masquerading as a ballet driver, Brax is also supposed to be her husband. He has his own reasons for doing the job, but when their pretend marriage ignites into fiery passion, they'll have to put everything, including their hearts, on the line. So this one seems a little bit different than the other Beverly Jenkins novels that I've read. This is obviously still a historical romance, but it just sounds a little bit different than the ones I've been reading so far. But either way, I'm really excited to dive into this one, and because like I said, it's her newest release, I just can't wait to get to it. And this one I accidentally opened because I thought it was something different, but it's not. Anyways, the next Beverly Jenkins book that I have here is Midnight. So I love this cover. Can we just get into it for a second? Hold on, look at that cover. Absolutely stunning. I don't know where they find these models at to do these type of photos and portraits or whatever. Pretty much love all of the covers that I have seen on Beverly Jenkins books. I just feel like they all do such a great job at really showing that passion, that angst, and that fire and that love that you get when you read her books. So this book is also a bit different than the ones I've read so far because this one follows a female spy, and I just think that's really cool, especially during this time period. So on the back here it says, in Boston, revolution is in the wind, yet no one would ever suspect Faith Kingston of treason. But under cover of darkness, the beautiful daughter of a Tory tavern owner becomes a notorious spy, Lady Midnight, passing valuable secrets to the rebels. Dedicated to fighting British tyranny, she'll let nothing distract her until a dark, mesmerizing stranger enters her life. A reckless, worldly adventurer, Nicholas Gray, has returned to troubled Massachusetts, seeking revenge for the death of his rebel father. He suspects a local innkeeper, but it's the man's breathtaking, ebony-skinned daughter who has truly captured his interest. Nicholas burns for the sensuous, secretive lady, and Faith cannot mask her own blazing desire. But when destiny unites their causes, the passion that draws Midnight into Nicholas's arms is as dangerous as it is glorious, and it could spell disaster for them both. Sounds really interesting, can't wait. The next package that I have here is actually from Thrift Books, and I had to open this one because you guys know if you order from Thrift Books that they like to play games sometimes. Sometimes you might get the copy or the edition that you specifically ordered from them, and other times you might not. So I wanted to check these out to make sure that these are exactly what I asked for, and they are. So shout out to Thrift Books. Thank you for not messing up my order. I appreciate it. I always do. But this one does have 2 books in it. One of them is rare, or at least a little bit harder to find, and I will pull that one out first. But it is A Chance at Love by Beverly Jenkins, and I just love this cover. Can you guys see it? I hope you can, but this cover is absolutely beautiful. I love the color scheme, and I just love, of course, how they look. Ignore this. This is really unfortunate. I hate that this is on here, but you get what you get. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm just happy that they actually sent the edition that I ordered. So on the back here it says, The Marrying Kind. Lorelei Winters never imagined she'd end up as a mail-order bride in middle of nowhere, Kansas, until the 2 adorable orphan nieces of a dusky dream named Jake Reed beg her to be their new mama. And one look at the dark, devastatingly handsome man is enough to entice her to abandon her California plans and stay put for a while in this one-horse frontier town. Strong, sensible Jake was hoping for a wife to help him raise his girls, but Lorelei may be more than he can handle. He can't stop wondering what it would be like to hold the fiery enchantress close and kiss her deeply. Surely he could never compete with the sophisticated gents she has known, yet he intends to try. But will his honest passion be enough to convince the worldly miss to take a chance on a long shot called love? I am so excited to read this one, you guys, because I actually just finished this book right here, Always and Forever, and Lorelei actually appears in this book, and that's when we first get to know Lorelei, is through this book. I love this book. Spoiler alert, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I would talk about this more in my December wrap-up, but yes, she appears in this book, and I cannot wait to read this one. I really loved her character in Always and Forever. I thought she was so strong-willed, she was so funny, and I love that she didn't back down from anybody. And so I'm just really happy that she's going to get her happily ever after in this story. The next package that I have here is another Thrift Books package, and I had to open it for the same reason why I told you earlier. But this one also has 2 books in it because I don't know if somebody was clearing out their library, but Thrift Books was selling all of these different Beverly Jenkins books, and I jumped on the ones that I didn't already own, and I'm just really grateful that they had all of these books. Now my collection is growing bigger, and I love to see it. So the first book that I have here is Rebel. This one is part of the Women Who Dare series, and so I'm assuming this one is first, and then this is the second book in the series. Not 100% sure, but they are a part of the same series. And so on the back here it says, Belinda Lacey's mission in the steamy heart of New Orleans is to help the newly emancipated survive and flourish. But soon she discovers that here, freedom can also mean danger. When thugs destroy the school she has set up and then target her, Belinda runs for her life, and straight into the arms of Captain Drake Levesque. As an architect from an old New Orleans family, Drake has a deeply personal interest in rebuilding the city. Raised by strong women, he recognizes Belinda's determination, and he can't stop admiring or wanting her. But when Belinda's father demands she return home to marry a man she doesn't love, her daring rebellion draws Drake into an irresistible intrigue. This sounds like this is going to be another book right up my alley, and I know I said that this is part of the Women Who Dare series, but one of the characters in here, Drake Levesque, I think he is related to another one of my favorite characters. So there is a character named Raymond Levesque, and Raymond appears in Through the Storm, which is my favorite Beverly Jenkins novel to date, and he appears in that book. So I'm wondering if Raymond and Drake are cousins or brothers. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I love that Beverly Jenkins books and characters all overlap and intertwine with one another. It's so fun to be able to see a specific character's storyline because you learned about them a little bit in another book. Like, it's just so much fun. Like, I have such a great time reading her books. And the last book that I have here in this package is Topaz. So this is one of Beverly Jenkins' older novels. So this is up there with Night Song in terms of one of her most like notable works and one of her older works. On the back here it says, Kate Love is an ambitious young newspaper reporter on the trail of a railroad stock swindler who has been preying on elderly blacks. Her investigation points to Rupert Samuels, one of the wealthiest and most eligible black men in the East, but her covert efforts to get close enough to uncover the goods on him bring her to the brink of becoming his wife. Snatched from the altar by Dick's Wild Horse, a black Seminole marshal from Oklahoma's Indian country, Kate has no choice but to flee with the daring knight her father sent to rescue and wed her. Marriage has never been part of Kate's plans, and she isn't about to abandon her career to become the dutiful wife of a Wild West lawman built on wrapping her in his own protective cocoon. Determined to hold on to her independence despite the dark simmering fire Dick's bronze muscled embrace ignites, she challenges him at every turn. Yet even as their battle of wills intensifies, the heat of their passion blazes with unmatched fury, a wild life of love that can only be answered in the sweet ecstasy of surrender. Woo, so this sounds like this is going to be very passionate, very steamy, and very spicy, and I am not mad at it. So this is also going to be a fun read because the two characters in here, Catherine and Dixon, also appeared in Always and Forever. It seemed like a lot of people got their start in this book, which is so funny and just so wholesome and sweet to see because I truly love this book with everything in me, and I loved all of the characters that popped up throughout this story. And so I'm really looking forward to reading about Dixon and Catherine's story. Okay, y'all, so we're almost done, and we're almost done with the Beverly Jenkins books in particular. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one because this one's already open. This one is a rare, or at least a hard to find, Beverly Jenkins novel. And the book that I'm referring to is Nighthawk. So let's take a second to look at the cover. This character right here, his name is Ian, but he also goes by Preacher. That is his alias, and I'm really excited to read his story because he is one of my book boyfriends for sure. But on the back here it says, Outlaw Preacher Nighthawk. He's had many names, but he can't escape the past. Since Ian Vance's beloved wife was murdered years ago, the hardened bounty hunter knows he'll never feel love or tenderness again. So he's made it his mission to ensure others get their justice. But when he's charged with delivering a sharp-eyed beauty to the law, Ian can't help but feel he may still have something left to lose. Orphaned at 12, Maggie Freeman has always found her way out of trouble, but now there's a vigilante mob at her back who would like nothing more than to see her hang for a crime she didn't commit. Maggie may have to accept help for the first time in her life, even if it's from the one man standing between her and freedom. As the past closes in, the sassy prisoner and toughened lawman may just find a passion between them that could bring blinding happiness, if they'll let it. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Like I said, Preacher is one of my book boyfriends. He appears in a lot of Beverly Jenkins novels, but you don't really know too much about him. He's very quiet to himself, and he does his job, and he does his job very well. So he is always traveling and looking for criminals to bring to justice, essentially. But I just really love his character because even though he's quiet and you don't know too much about him, when he does speak to other characters in the story, it's always something filled with wisdom or something very spiritual. He does quote the Bible a lot, which is why he goes by Preacher, but I just love his character. Like I said, when I saw that this was on sale for a great price on eBay, I knew I had to pick it up because I have been on the hunt for this book for so long, and it's so difficult to find this one. I don't know why, but this is one of those books that I think is unfortunately out of print, or at least they didn't print that many, I don't know, but I am really happy that I have it in my collection now. I think this will be the next Beverly Jenkins book that I read right after I read A Chance at Love, because I just need to know what happens to Lorelai and her storyline, but I am really excited to read about Preacher. Okay, so now getting back to the actual unboxing part. I'm so sorry that this video is all over the place, y'all. This is how we do things over here on my channel, so I'm sorry, but you know, we're trying our best. Anyways, so the next book that I have here is another copy of Rebel. I did not mean to order this one. I totally blanked and forgot that I already ordered this off of Pango Books. So I will be listing this on my Pango Books account. So if you are interested in picking up this book, definitely make sure you check out my shop. I will leave the link below in my description box, but this was a flop. I did not mean to order this one. This is the last Beverly Jenkins novel. And this one is, ooh, Breathless. So on the back here it says, as manager of one of the finest hotels in Arizona Territory, Portia Carmichael has respect and stability, qualities sorely missing from her harsh childhood. She refuses to jeopardize that by hitching herself to the wrong man. Suitors are plentiful, but none of them have ever looked quite as tempting as a family friend who just rode into town, and none has looked at her with such intensity and heat. Duchess. That's the nickname Kent Randolph gave Portia when she was a young girl. Now she's a stunning, intelligent woman, and Kent has learned his share of hard lessons. After drifting through the West, he's learned the value of a place to settle down, and in Portia's arms, he's found that and more. But convincing her to trust him with her heart, not just her passion, will be the greatest challenge he's known, and one he intends to win. This one just sounds like it's going to be so fun and so sweet, and I love the fact that he will be pursuing her and chasing after her, and she's just not even like giving him the time of the day. I love that trope. But this is the last box that I have to unbox, but this one, y'all are gonna be really surprised. At least my OG subscribers are going to be really shocked. Who would have thought?
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Who would have thought that I would pick up a book like this? Especially not me not being able to open this. Oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So I did not think that I would pick up a book like this, especially in a special edition format, because I'm still like not super into this genre, but I've been reading this book slowly and on my own time, and I've been enjoying it so far. I actually need to read a chapter or two tonight because I haven't read it in a minute because I've been trying to prioritize other books, but just know that I am loving this book so far, and I understand the hype, truly. The book that I have here is Babel by Sara Carrolli. But it's not just the regular edition of Babel, no. It is the Fairy Loot edition of Babel. Hopefully you can see that with my ring light. Here are the sprayed edges with the Babel tower right here. Oh my gosh, I love it. This edition is so beautiful. And then this is the back with the Babel tower again. And like I said, I am obsessed with this story so far, and I'm just obsessed with this edition. Like, Fairy Loot and Illumicrate and Owlcrate do such a great job at designing special editions of books. As a book collector, we are never safe when it comes to Owlcrate, Illumicrate, and Fairy Loot, okay? Because you just want to buy every single book that they come out with. Even if you don't like fantasy, or even if you're not interested in reading that particular book, the way that they create these special editions, it makes you want to own all of them because of how gorgeous they are. But I'm obsessed with this. I just can't get enough of it, and the seller package is really nice. Like, and they also included their own bookmark, which I think is just really cute, and it's a nice little touch. It says the librarian on the back, and on the front it has the sun, some constellations, Saturn, things like that. But I think this is really cute. I definitely will be using this. And in the flap here, you can see we have Letty and V. Then on the back we have Robin and Brahmi, and I'm absolutely obsessed. And this is what the book looks like without the dust jacket. So again, we have the Babel tower here on both sides, and then you have Babel on the spine. And then again, these are the sprayed edges. It's black all around. So I've actually been reading Babel on my iPad just because it's easier for me to do it that way since the book is so long. And I've been reading it at my own pace. And I'm currently, I think, on like chapter 4 or 5. The chapters are pretty long, and you do have to pay attention because there is a lot going on, obviously. And there's a lot of historical elements and factoids woven throughout the story. So you really do have to make sure you're cognizant and paying attention. This is not some mindless read or something that you would read if you're looking for like escapism. It's definitely something where I feel like you do have to have a little bit of brain power at least when going into it, and I'm loving it so far. Like I said, I can't really give a full synopsis of what this story is even about. Just know that it has a huge focus and emphasis on language and colonialism. There are so many elements wrapped up into this book that I truly cannot give it a full synopsis, but just go on Goodreads and look it up if you are interested. Even though I'm only 4 chapters in, it is really good, and I'm falling in love with R. Kwong's writing style, and I just can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Alright, y'all, so those are all of the books that I had to unbox with you today, and I know that most of them were Beverly Jenkins novels, but that's who I am. You guys know that I love her historical romances, so I couldn't resist, you know, I just couldn't. But I am really happy with all of the books that I have here, especially the special edition of Babel. I just think it's going to look absolutely stunning on my shelves whenever I figure out how to arrange it and display it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me my channel out. And lastly, please make sure you follow me on Bookstagram as well as Storygraph. I will leave all of that information linked down below, as well as at the end of the video like I always do. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!